Hello, I'm the Arizona Silverback, and you deserve a promotion. Hello, I'm the Arizona Silverback, and I would like to talk to you a little bit about promotions. Now, I got a letter, and I'll put it in here, from a member, and it says, enjoy your videos, but I got a serious question. I've been training for 6 years, been trying to get promoted to blue. I had a rough start in MMA. If I could come in for a class and tap a blue belt, would you promote me? So that's a tough one. So I basically have somebody saying, hey, will you promote me if I can come in and show you how good I am? If I could show you that I could submit a blue belt, would that be proof enough that I'm a blue belt? I would say that that's more complicated of an answer than I can just answer off the gate. First and foremost, when I was a blue belt, I could submit brown belts. I could submit purple belts. I owned my own school at 4-stripe blue belt with the guidance of a black belt, of course. I was a competitor. I was undefeated. I was winning everything. You know, as a blue belt, I spent 5 years trying to build a name for myself so I can get my purple belt. Did the fact that I could submit higher level belts make me a better jiu-jitsu practitioner? See, it's tough because in practice, you don't really know where you stand. Let's say you're a white belt, all right, and you submit a blue belt. Maybe he was just having a bad day. If you could submit a guy normally, maybe you're just a higher caliber grappler, but do you know more than him? Do you have the experience that he has? What says, at what point do we say, hey, you deserve this promotion because you're submitting people? Is that what jiu-jitsu is about? Is it about submitting your teammates? Because when I work with teammates, what I work on is my weakest game, especially people of lower rank. I've done this for a long time where if they have a lower rank than me, what I'll do is I'll work a game that I'm not as strong at. What it does is it gives them a competitive role and a chance to get better. It also allows me to get better at my weaker games. Now with equal belts, what I do is I try to work the entirety of jiu-jitsu. I put myself in compromising spots, but I also try to work through. I know they're gonna challenge me, but I also will try to get on top and stay on top and work some of my strengths. Against better guys, I'll only work my A game. So if they're working their weakest game and I'm working my A game, who's really winning? You know, and that's the problem you run into, is beating blue belts at your school or purple belts at your school or brown belts at your school. Does that say that you are the best? Does that say you deserve immediately a promotion? Jiu-jitsu is not so much about beating up teammates, okay? Jiu-jitsu is about self-growth. And I really want to talk about this because it's not a competition. The gym where your teammates are is not a competition. Now, being a white belt for 6 years, it can get frustrating. I understand reaching out and trying to find different avenues. The problem is that you got to trust the process. You are doing something clearly that is wrong if your professor is not promoting you. The fault doesn't lie in your grappling abilities, because if you're submitting blue belts by this, I think you probably can. But are you missing what's truly important in jiu-jitsu? Now, so I've heard professors not promoting people because they're dicks. This isn't saying that you are, but sometimes attitude is just as important as performance. Now, I look at the trifecta. I look at the mentality. I look at the ability, but most importantly, I look at the knowledge. For white belt, I want to know that you understand the basics of jiu-jitsu. And I'm not talking about the basics of a jiu-jitsu as a whole, because that's what a black belt is. He understands the fundamental basics of jiu-jitsu. He's ready for the more advanced stuff. I want to say, do you know how to hip escape? Well, I call them lazy bad dogs, where you do a butt scooting, or bad dogs. Or do you know how to do like forward rolls? Can you survive most scenarios? For me, a white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be good, or is good, at applying the basics of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like saying, man, I can really play the heck out of the song on the guitar. I was like, okay, well, give me an A and an F. And you're like, well, what's an A and an F? Well, you want to be in a band, and you can play a couple good songs, but you don't understand the fundamental basics. Maybe you're even playing it wrong, so you can't learn any other songs. Jiu-jitsu is an art form, and you can pick it up, and you might be good at just being, maybe you're bigger, maybe you're stronger, maybe you're more athletic. There's certain things at lower belts that play into part. But to say, hey, can I come to your gym, and if I can beat some of your blue belts, okay, and I have some pretty tough blue belts, do you think that you would promote me? Again, that's such an open-ended question. It's a hard thing to answer, especially too, because I want to be a part of whatever you guys are doing. I want to be a part of the Silverback Nation. I think that we are an interesting dynamic that I want to build into a community, and I'm working on that. Okay, and if I haven't got back to some of your things, I read everything, but this one, I had the same mindset. Again, at Purple Belt, I owned a successful school with successful students. I had a black belt that I wanted to impress my professor. I go to competitions. I win everything. I sacrificed for jiu-jitsu. I went homeless so I can continue to train. And I felt that I deserved more than what I had. And that mindset right there, I closed myself off to truly learning what jiu-jitsu was about, because I was only focused on the belt. Now, again, spending 4 or 5 years at a specific belt is tough. But what is it you're trying to get out of jiu-jitsu? If you're looking for belts, the question is why? What is it that belt gives you that every day doesn't? The belt keeps our gi closed. That's what it does. It keeps our gi closed. The color just represents the experience. Now, and knowledge. The roles against teammates, and you know what? I'll be fair. When I roll as a blue belt and a purple belt and a brown belt, well, less of a brown, but more purple and blue, my only objective was to show upper belts what I was truly capable of. And I'd take it to them, and I could take it to black belts, brown belts, purple belts. I didn't white belt, like every roll was a hard roll because I wanted to show everybody how good I was. It was more of an insecurity. But in most of those rolls, to be 100% honest with you, my jiu-jitsu was crap. I would throw technique out the window just to win the brute strength game. I would get on top, I would hold you down, I would submit you. And some of these guys were more technical than me. I would just win with sheer aggression. I got that because I wrestled for so many years. But I would say, okay, well, winning is the most important aspect of jiu-jitsu, and it's not. It's not, it's really not. Winning is such a small portion of jiu-jitsu, and if you're winning with good technique, you'll know, because it'll be effortless. You'll use very little energy. You'll control the person, and they might even get up and be like, hey, man, you're strong, but they don't understand the difference between pressure, or you're heavy, and they don't understand how technical you actually are. But the upper belts, they'll see that. Your professor will see that. He'll see that if you're using the moves that you're being taught and you're using them effortlessly, I guarantee you'll be promoted twice as fast than if you just win rolls. As a professor, that's what I look for. I look for, are you being successful in applying jiu-jitsu? And this is what I tell my students, there's no secret. I say, hey, if you want to be good at jiu-jitsu, use jiu-jitsu. Don't just try to outroll your partners. Don't just try to beat them. Winning doesn't, in a practice, what do you win? You don't bring a medal or a trophy. So you say, if I would come to your class and tap one of your blue belts, would you promote me? Yeah, what kind of standard would I set if I said that? Now, if you said, hey, check it out. I want to come train with you for a month. I want you to see how great I am at jiu-jitsu, that as a white belt, I understand the basics. I can roll with upper belts, and I can apply my jiu-jitsu in a way that is effortless. I would look at that and be like, dang, this guy is not a white belt. This guy is not a blue belt. Of course, I abide by the IBJJF standard, but at that point in time, I would look at you, or I'd call your professor and be like, hey, this guy, what is it that he's missing that I don't see, because he's phenomenal. So again, crazy question to receive. I'm super happy that you asked me. But if you're chasing a blue belt, why are you chasing a blue belt? Okay, I'd like to know. And for you guys out there, maybe you think you deserve another stripe on your belt. Maybe you think, man, I'm ready for my blue belt. I could submit all the blue belts in here. That makes me a good blue belt. All right? Is that your mindset? What if you're a blue belt and you're looking for your purple belt and you're starting to get anxious? Do you think, well, everybody else is moving faster than me? You know you don't have to get all your stripes in order to go to your next belt. Maybe there's something you're not doing that your professor's not seeing. Or, I'm sorry, that you're not doing that your professor sees. You can ask and be like, hey, I'm working on my game. What can I do to be better? But if you make it about the belt, when people start bringing up the belt, it starts just turning me off. It's like, listen, man, your mind's not in the right place. You're further away than you think now. Okay, and I know it can be frustrating. I know it can be hard. I've been there. It took me 17 years. However, don't give up. Don't get frustrated. When I was a purple belt, I was a very good purple belt. And I was like, hey, man, here's the thing. If I'm going to be a purple belt for 3 years, I'm going to be the best purple belt I can be. And that's when it changed for me. I was like, I'll just be the best purple belt in the world. I was top ranked 100 in the purple belt in the world. I went into my brown belt. I ranked 128 through the IBJJF system. That was because I was rocking it. I was top 100 consecutive years. And I was just like, I'll just be the best purple belt I could be. And I let go of the belt and I focused on just getting better, using technique and practicing. I practiced so much. I practiced before class, I practiced after class, I practiced all day long. I'd stay late, I'd go beforehand, I started lifting weights. I focused on everything that I could do, and did yoga too, to be better at jiu-jitsu. And all of a sudden there's my brown belt, and I'm like, man, I walked into brown belt, a really good brown belt. And my professor, who was a purple, he said, man, he told me, he's like, you'd be a good brown belt here now at purple. And it didn't make sense. Like, he basically told me, he's like, I was a high caliber brown belt at purple belt, and I didn't even take this compliment. Like, what am I wearing a brown belt? Like, it didn't register that grappling is good, my jiu-jitsu is good, but I was missing something. And I never stopped and like, okay, well, as of right now, what can I work on to be better? Well, anyway, I really enjoy you sitting and talking with me. I read all the comments, so just keep them coming. If you have questions, ask. I will promise you I'll answer them. I'm the Arizona Silverback, and now you know.